Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another live session with FASA. Joining me today is Bianca Viljoen, who is the Marketing Distribution Manager Director, at Health Squared. So, what do we have today? If you out there, come and say hello, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Let us know how you're doing today. Today, we're going to be chatting about medical aid schemes. So if you have any questions, please pop them in the comment box below. If you think this could be helpful to anyone, please forward it on and share and give us a like. So let us know you're out there. Say hello, and let's get started. Good morning, Bianca. How are you today?
Morning, Romany. Well, thanks. How are you?
Good. Gosh, this lockdown is a bit stressful, and I'm sure it's quite stressful to a lot of people out there today, which is what we're going to be chatting to about with the COVID-19 that has wreaked havoc on every global economy globally, leaving chaos in its wake. Would be vastly understating the reality. In South Africa, the fallout of this crisis has hit small and medium-sized businesses and those reliant on them for an income particularly hard. All who are part of the SME sector are feeling the devastating impact it has visited on everyone's livelihoods and their ability to adequately provide for their family. It has a devastating effect on a lot of incomes and a lot of families out there. So before the coronavirus, small and medium enterprises were viewed as the backbone of the South African economy, employing half of our local workforce while contributing to an estimated fifth of the GDP. It stands to reason then that it is these businesses that will play a fundamental role in rebuilding our ailing economy. Government, financial institutions, big businesses and other stakeholders have provided significant support to SMEs as well as those who are unable to earn an income. But is this going to be sufficient to sustain the crucial sector of the economy? What steps can smaller businesses take to further prove their businesses in order to become more robust and sustainable? So today we're going to be chatting with Bianca Viljoen, and the first question I have, because I've already made a mistake in that regard, is with regards to health insurance and medical aid schemes. I didn't know that they were different. And as Bianca corrected me, that apparently there's a difference between health insurance and medical aid schemes. So let us just have a quick chat about the difference on those two. Thanks, Bianca.
Absolutely. Thanks, Romany. So there's a vast difference between a medical scheme and healthcare or medical insurance. So I think the major sort of distinction between the two is, firstly, medical scheme cover is regulated by the Medical Schemes Act. And there are some sort of high-level benefit structures that need to be adhered to by all medical schemes. Now, that, for instance, includes unlimited cover for what we call PMB conditions. Now, PMB conditions are, in broad definition, life-changing or life-threatening type of diseases or conditions. So, there's these PMBs, 271 of them, that's got to be covered by all medical schemes in South Africa. And that is one of the primary reasons why medical scheme cover is quite a bit more expensive than some of the healthcare insurance products. Now, on the other side, healthcare insurance can also be sort of categorized into two broad bases. The first being hospital plans. Now, a hospital plan in the insurance space means you have a daily limit that will be covered in hospital. You might only be covered for certain conditions. You might only be covered for a certain period of time. So irrespective of your diagnosis, insurers aren't sort of forced to pay for those until the end, but they have restrictions, whereas medical schemes don't have those. And then on the other hand, you get like a primary care type insurance product, and that gives you access to still private care, but it's an insurance product. So in other words, there can be limitations on the number of visits and the number of benefits that you gain access to. Now, as mentioned, insurance products can be a lot more affordable, but there's a pitfall. You've got to be very, very careful in reading the fine print, reading policy wording to make sure that what you're buying is going to be sufficient for you and your family.
I think that is one of the parts that definitely confuse me, is when, because it seems like some things cover you and other things don't cover you. And it's kind of like a minefield in a way. You don't really know always what you're buying into. And then you're kind of dependent on the health or the person selling you the product to actually inform you and give you all that information. And if you don't have that information, or if they don't tell you, and then something happens and then you kind of want to claim for the insurance and they go, well, sorry, you're not covered for that. And that's really one of the things I think many people have experienced out there with medical insurance and health insurance in general. So
absolutely. So the most important thing is, and all members should take a concerted effort in reading their benefits, looking up and saying, is this what I bought? So, a financial advisor will assist you, in making the call and making the decision. But the onus at the end of the day is always on the member. You as the client of the insurance company or as the member of the medical scheme, it's all going to come back to you. So it's very, very important that you make that concerted effort in reading your policy wording, and familiarizing yourself with the content. Otherwise, you're going to be out of pocket at some point, if you're not fully aware of what you're covered for.
That's very good advice. I will agree with you on that. Although I must say, half the time I don't understand what they're saying. It's quite a lot of information, and it's just like by halfway through, you're like, your head's fried. Well, that's for me at least. So how has that been for you out there? Let us know. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Eve, for letting us know you're out there, and hopefully everyone can hear us nice and clearly. So Bianca, for many years, for many of us, COVID-19 and the whole lockdown experience, even though now less restrictive, has been quite stressful. I think it's fair to say that employees alike are enduring an incredible difficult time with various stresses arising from this crisis. Issues like financial worries, personal or legal issues, coupled with heightened concern over their health, all coming to the fore. As an organization, what assistance are you able to offer to alleviate these burdens?
Well, Romany, yes. I think we're all quite well aware of the negative impact COVID has had on the business community as a whole. And Health Squared Medical Scheme has tried as far as possible to assist our members in various ways. So as the pandemic struck, I think it was during March this year, we were very proud to be one of the first medical schemes to ensure that our at-risk members received full cover for COVID-19. Now, at the time, not all medical schemes were covering COVID testing in full. In other words, if it came back negative, some schemes didn't pay for those tests. But we took a decision right from the beginning to cover both the testing and treatment, whether that test came back positive or negative. And should the members then contract the virus, they at least have the peace of mind that the test will be covered and they won't be out of pocket for that. And also, inevitably, they'll be covered in full in hospital, no questions asked. But, aside from getting access to benefits, which is incredibly important, and again, it's one of those things that you need to check with your medical scheme or with your medical insurance cover. You've got to see what type of benefits they offer, especially for COVID. Now, apart from being very, very focused on your medical cover in the current market environment, we find that the psychological impact the lockdown and COVID has had on our members has had an incredible effect on well-being. Now, that well-being stretches across mental as well as psychological aspects. There are three elements that we find our members are struggling with the most. Firstly, being exposed to a potential life-threatening virus whenever you leave the house. It has an immediate impact on your ability to function as you did pre-lockdown. So 24/7, we're all exposed, no matter how old you are, no matter what conditions you have, we're all exposed to this potential life-threatening situation. So that is the first impact that we've seen really is affecting our members. The second one is the depression, the anxiety, and everything that goes along with that of being kind of, stuck at home all the time. Now, I mean, it seems like children are now again back at home, sitting with parents, trying to do schoolwork, trying to work. There's a massive psychological impact that we find are affecting our members. And very often, you don't have a sort of a resource that you're able to access to speak to someone about this. If you speak to maybe a spouse or a family member, it just sounds like you're moaning. And people tend to think, but look, we're all in this. Why are you moaning about this? But we provide a counseling or a service helpline to all our members at absolutely no cost, where they can speak to a qualified psychologist about these issues, about this anxiety and possible depression that comes as a result of that. So our Free Assist helpline really provides just that gap that some people need just to speak their minds and engage with someone about these concerns. Now, in addition to that, the helpline also provides assistance in various forms when it comes to financial advice or debt assistance. And again, you mentioned this earlier, there's an enormous financial challenge out there. Businesses can't operate properly. They can't employ the number of people they used to in the past. And financially, it's taken a big hit to members and employers around the country. So we would like to, in addition to proper medical cover, assist members with lifestyle-related challenges as well. And that then really pertains to assisting with mental discussion, psychological well-being, financial advice, legal advice, as well as just general healthcare advice, all done telephonically at no cost.
That is good to know, because wow, that's quite good to know, because a lot of people are stressing at the moment. A lot of people are struggling. And I know from personal experience that I really don't enjoy going out anymore. It's become quite an unpleasant experience. And so, it's almost like there's this energy out there, and being so sensitive to that kind of energy. And myself having in the past suffered from depression, anxiety, and panic attacks. People don't realize that, it's not just about the virus. There's a whole myriad of stuff out there that can really impact a person going forward. I mean, if you end up with panic attacks or anxiety over this virus, it can really damage your mental state of being or your well-being long term. And it also impacts your livelihoods, your ability to work, your ability to function as you would normally in a normal society. So yeah, that is great to know that there is actually someone that you can tap into. And I'm going to advise you that even if you're not a member of Health Squared, that you connect with a friend or connect with a family member, someone who is willing to just listen to your heart, because we know that we're all in it, and we know, but everybody deals with things in a different way. And that's what I've experienced in life. And just to maybe be a bit patient when someone is saying, I can't take this anymore. I really have had enough. I don't want to do this anymore, because like I said, everybody deals with things differently.